title of the show is Worldwide Identification Emergency. A worldwide identification emergency. All right, in parentheses will be M.O.T.B. All right, so with that, I would like to say, Kal Halal, Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rafah Qadash, Thawada, Yahweh, for giving us Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles of GMS, who have the 100% spirit of Yahweh Shemashai in them. Double honors to the CT bishops, elders of GMS, our big Akim, and Shalom to the Akim in his country and all over the world, prophesying in the true name of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, which is none other than the power of the nation of Israel, which consists of you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, and anybody who are descendants from those people on their father's side. Shalom to those who are scattered abroad. I am Yaakov, all right, servant and king of the universe, King Yahushua for the power of Yahweh. And again, the title is Worldwide Identification Emergency. And just wanted to do a quick one on that. It's something that just came to my mind. And also, I was talking to the head brother out of Jersey, the beloved brother Tazarwar, and Tazawar, and we were talking, you know, catching up, reporting for for camp during the weekend, which is today. I'm on the way to camp right now, and we were just talking and spiritually kind of speculating. Of course, we're stating that we're close to the Lord's coming, but we're talking about the M.O.T.B, the mark of the beast. Revelation 13 and 16, the major prophecy of the sign of the Lord's coming. And basically we were saying, we gave two scenarios which we agreed on of how we think, Lord willing, of how to, according to biblical prophecy, of how the M.O.T.B would be enacted or introduced. Now it's already been introduced to society by years. Even though when we got into camp, there's a place in Spain called the Baja Club that you would have to have a radio frequency chip, identification chip in your body, in this case your hand, to get into a certain club, the Baja Club in Spain. And they have that technology anyway, your license plate, passport, etc. Right? So it's already here, but it's been exponentially getting more technical and sophisticated. Anyway, the two scenarios we're talking about that it's going to be mandated to society is through way of we believe we're talking to the spirit of a terrorist attack, some kind of terrorist attack, or enacting a state of emergency, like a world war. Well, like a world war. And the scripture I'm thinking about is too, that the whole world should be tried, and also when they should say peace and safety. Salakia. I don't have my Bible on me. I'm just going to quote it, and I don't want to make this too long, But the reason, I'll say it like this, that again, I'll just say it. Scriptures was it 1 Corinthians 5 and 3? When they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction will come upon them. As with the woman in travail with child. I'm not saying it verbatim. I'm going to post the scripture. But I'm just trying to remember. All right, so when you look at the word emergency, right, it means basically something that's sudden, like a sudden, well, really that's something that's serious. When something is an emergency, it's serious and it's unexpected, right? So the definition of an emergency is, which I'm going to correlate to the M.O.T.B. in 1 Thessalonians 5 and 3, if you can hear it. Emergency is, definition of emergency is serious and unexpected, and oftentimes dangerous situation, which requires a state of action. You know, it requires some action, protective measures. You know. So again, the definition of emergency is serious. It's not an emergency if it's not serious, and it's most times an emergency is unexpected. You know, when you get an alarm, fire alarm, or a state of emergency, it usually happens unexpectedly or suddenly, right? Just like the scriptures say. When the scriptures say 1 Thessalonians 5 and 3, it says, when they should say peace and safety, because the whole reason they're going to introduce this chip, M.O.T.B, they're going to say it as a form of safety. You know, and one thing we're talking about with Travail, you know, this whole migrant situation. You know, we always done many videos. I've done it. A lot of brothers done it. To point, they're going to use that as they can use that along with many other things that they've conditioned as far as events that's happened in the past, the recent past. They can use that to as an excuse to bring this, and one of them is the migrant situation. So if you got a whole bunch of migrants out here that are criminals from Venezuela that has been reported on, you know, from China, ex-criminals from Mexico, whatever have you, right? And they cause some kind of, you know, danger or harm or murdering, and it just gets out of hand. Then, let alone you have migrants coming in from other countries, and then let's say they get linked up with some kind of terrorist attack. You know what I mean? They can use that. All these manifold events they can use to what? To use an excuse for an emergency for you to be identified. If I'm explaining it right, Salaki. So basically, like the title reads, like me and Tazara were talking, I believe through the Spirit, just my humble opinion through the Spirit, that they're going to introduce the M.O.T.B or the RFID, radio frequency identification. The whole purpose is gonna be for emergency, for a state. It's gonna be an emergency to be identified, right? To separate if you're a citizen, American citizen or not. Are you a citizen? Okay, you're not. You are. Do you have American citizenship? So you have to be identified as such. Okay, he's a migrant. Okay, he's a citizen. Okay, he's a National Guard. So basically, even as far as class, race, color, you know what I mean? To be identified. So they also got, you know, which has also been enacted, damn. I've done a show and I can't remember. The credit score system, you know, which that's basically enacted in a way, you know. Going back to October 4th, you know, that whole frequency test, that signal test that is supposed to be a whole national test, emergency for your cell phones, right? I did a show in it, Billy, going into, I believe that was basically collecting data, right? Data, information from your phone, to basically categorize you into a certain credit category or category or system, to be put into that system. So so they're already collecting data to put you in a certain class, and you already know where we are. The nation of Israel, we're at the bottom. We're at the bottom class of society. We're at the bottom. So they already got that in China, the class system, which is certain. If you're a certain class, you have certain privileges that you can do and you cannot do, that you can't do. Even as far as buying cake or eating certain foods or watching a movie or time constraints of certain things you can do, whether it be watching TV or going outside or being indoors. You know what I mean? So, and another thing that points to that is the lockdown. Well, let me stay on point. So let me go back to, I'm going to bring up the lockdown in a minute. But let me, but the whole world should be tried. But going back to 1 Thessalonians 5:3, when they should say peace and safety. Remember, when they introduced this M.O.T.B, they're going to introduce it as for your safety, as for national safety, as for a worldwide safety, right? To be identified is going to be one step to being a more safer society, because we can identify the criminal or migrant or whatever the excuse they want to use, or somebody who's really sick, right? Because someone who's really sick, they're in danger. They're endangering the rest of the society, right? So that would have to be, you would have to be protected from that. So if you get one, so you already understand that point. Again, emergency is a serious, unexpected, and oftentimes dangerous, which requires action. Lockdowns, so to speak, right? The lockdown. Now we can move on to the lockdown. Now, pertaining to the scripture, I believe it's Revelation, the 3rd chapter. I forget where it is. The whole world should be tried. What is that talking about? Tried means trouble, tested, right? Tested. So, because this M.O.T.B is prophecy, but it's a test from the Most High to the people on the earth, and really the elect, to test what? To test our integrity, to test our spirituality, and only a very certain few spirits on earth are anointed and chosen to pass this test, which is the mandate, the worldwide lockdown of the identification emergency. All right? I believe through the Spirit, in which overall the prophecies talk about. Okay? So, and we're right there. You got many different avenues they can use as an excuse, right, to bring this in. You got the micro situation, which means Zawar talking about that you can use any scenario or any story, right, to bring that in. You already understand that point. And again, as far as the whole world being tried, I'm sorry, the lockdown. Then in my last point, the worldwide lockdown, the 2020 lockdown proves that they can. So the key word was suddenly, right? When something's an emergency, remember, it's serious and unexpected, and dangerous, and often requires action. So the proof that it was a so-called dangerous time during the lockdown, they took action to lock the whole world down, and they did it what? It was a serious, so that's why they locked it down. And it was what? It was unexpected. We went from January of 2020, from seeing videos in China about people walking and passing out, dropping dead, right? That was going viral. To 3 months later, January, February, and March, to having a worldwide lockdown in 3 months. right? And it was reported to be in oh fuck. Alright, Cratchford gotta go. God damn, man. Alright, well, gotta go. Fucking traffic. Satan, boy. Damn. Anyway, so you know, you get the point that again that the worldwide identification emergency, and you know, I believe that's how, I mean, because while we're talking through the Spirit and overall the scriptures, you know, that because this M.O.T.B deals with identification, right? All rich and poor, small and free and bond, all across all classes. You're gonna have to take this, the whole world, everybody on the earth, right? And so much so, if you don't want to take it, right, you're gonna be labeled as a danger and off to the CT camp. I mean, to the concentration camp. You know. So you know, that was my thing. I want to just think about, and really, that's the most important prophecy that I want to mention too. Like all this other news about what's going on in the Middle East is important, and Biden and this society and civil war. But, you know, really, all that can happen simultaneously with a chip mandate, you know. All that really doesn't matter as much as that, really, M.O.T.B, that's the #1 news. Because then you know, then the Lord's going to be close by. You know, like the scriptures say, your redemption draweth nigh. All right, and like Apostle always says, when that M.O.T.B is mandated, we know it's going to be, you can start looking up, man. We're that close. You know? It's a fucking accident, man. All right, so with that, say shalom. All right. Also, I moved once again, so I don't have any internet where I'm at. I'm even more deeper in the woods, so Lord willing, more shows should be coming up this coming up week, Lord willing, through the Spirit. Gonna have internet. I don't have service now, so service should be coming through where I'm at after Monday. All right, so with that, Lord willing, see you soon. Shalom. Kal halal. Yahweh ba'ashim and shai ba'hashem rapagudah. Shalom.